Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Film School Rejects podcast, where we haven't been gone for 2 months. I'm Billy Howells.
I'm Skye Collacott Williamson, and good to see you again. It's been a busy 2 months, especially not just for us, but for the film industry.
Yes.
An unlikely time sometimes to release a film on Christmas Day, and we are
Yes.
talking about Marty Supreme. It's a big shot to release something on Christmas Day. Obviously, for us, it was more like New Year's.
Boxing Day, and
Yeah, it was like that.
it kind of
Like
it.
some.
The Marty Supreme release here was really weird because they were advertising everywhere in cinemas Boxing Day, but actually it was in limited release Boxing Day. It came out generally like New Year's Day, and I did not want to wait till New Year's Day to see this because I didn't want to have to wait to do my best of the year list. So I went to like a 2 p.m. subtitle screening at an independent cinema near us.
You're very committed. I know it's been like in every single film you have the trailer. I personally think it was worth a wait. I It was 5 stars for me.
Really?
I don't think it was for you though.
No. So let's do a bit of setup first for Marty Supreme.
Yes.
Marty Supreme is directed by Josh Safdie, previously of the Safdie brothers, who directed Uncut Gems and Good Time. This movie stars Timothée Chalamet, who is of course just on this insane run at the moment. Like he is unstoppable. No one is gonna stop him.
No.
And this movie is about Marty Mauser, a ping pong player who is basically just striving for greatness and will do nothing to stop getting what he wants. That's really the only way to describe this movie without kind of. I mean, we'll go into spoilers.
We're
'Cause
gonna
this
do
movie's
spoilers.
been
This
out for
movie's been out for
everyone's seen it
a
now.
while. It's won awards. It's been nominated everywhere.
Let's start at the beginning with the opening credits sequence.
Yes.
Top 10 greatest opening credits maybe I've ever seen. No notes.
It was perfect. I loved it. Okay, let's just start from the beginning. So, Marty Mauser, played by Timothée Chalamet, works in the shoe shop. You can already tell that there's like something going on between him and Odessa. Obviously, she's played by Odessa. I don't remember the character name.
I don't remember either.
I don't remember. I just know it's Odessa. Anyway, so the very start of the scene, this entire movie is about ambition and legacy, and
Yeah.
he thinks he's the chosen one. And in this scene, which we have the title sequence, obviously he's shacking up, let's say, with Odessa, who has a husband.
Yep.
So the title sequence is that moment where we have like egg fertilization,
Yeah.
which is a great scene, but also it's like these like obviously what you have in egg fertilization, which is the chasing of the dream,
Yeah.
obviously symbolizing, and then we have Marty Supreme, and it turns into a
Into
ping
ping
pong
pong
ball.
ball. Yeah.
Yes,
Well,
and
I
then we
will say the opening credits of this movie are weirdly similar to the opening credits of the Minions movie.
I've not seen it, so I cannot comment. From the very start, with the title scene and the rest of it, you have what I would call a very, I'd call claustrophobic cinematography,
Yes.
and very anxiety-ridden
Yes.
filmmaking.
The
100%.
editing
This
is just like really tense.
in my opinion, whether or not you come out of the theatre and you're content or you're quoting it's overhyped, I didn't like it. I believe it's truly based on your tolerance for this kind of filmmaking, whether or not you can withstand like an over 2 hour film that is just anxiety inducing, and you've got like shots that are just like pacing around, and it's such a detailed production set
Yes.
for something that is so quick.
Yeah.
And it encapsulates this world that is 1950s New York, post World War II, and the it's obviously a very safty film, right? It has
Yes.
enormous amounts of characters and subplots. Whether you believe they're relevant or not is a different question. I
But
like
it's
them. I
chaotic,
think
which is
yeah,
sad.
it's chaotic. It's 100%. I think this is more safty than Uncut Gems.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Obviously, there's been lots of opinions on this film,
Mhm.
especially since Timothée Chalamet has started winning awards. It's been more talked about.
Well, I also think what you were talking about, like your tolerance of the movie, I don't think that's just about the filmmaking style. It is also
It's
about
also the marketing.
how much, well, not that, but how much are you able to tolerate this lead character who isn't necessarily likable?
Yes.
Like, Marty is not a character, and I think this is an intentional decision. Marty is not a character who is you're easily able to connect to. He is written as someone who will fuck up.
Yeah.
Sometimes intentionally, sometimes not. But this is absolutely a flawed character.
Oh yeah, it's he's a flawed character, but it's like individualism to the point that it's solitude. I mean, I've seen online in some reviews that people call him a narcissist. I don't think this is true. I think he starts to have an anxiety-ridden year that he's watching his dream fall apart, and he becomes more and more desperate. And it's more complicated than simply Marty Supreme is a bad person. He does bad things, and I think this is really like encapsulated in the scene with what's his name, Kevin O'Neary.
Kevin O'Leary, yeah.
Yeah, it's because we have the like a full circle moment where at the start of the film, after he wins, he's like, I'm willing to give you this like table tennis match in Japan where you purposely lose.
Yeah.
And Marty's like, no, I'm not going to do that, because he's on this different high where he believes he's going to achieve his dreams. Once he's lost all his friends and he's been running around trying to get all this money for Japan, he's willing to do that. But not only that, it's about how much humiliation and desperation he's willing to go, just for the paddle scene. And obviously this does come full circle where he then stops this and he decides he's not going to lose on purpose anymore.
Yeah.
And that's his moment of both development and devalidation of a character. So his moral ambiguity, whether he's a good or bad person, whether he's likable or not, is the entire film, right? He's just chasing this dream. He doesn't care anymore about himself the same way he cares about other people.
Well, I also think as well, like, this isn't to excuse the things Marty's doing, but I do think this is a point the movie is trying to make, that Marty is young. And, he's a young person trying to deal with these kind of egotistical feelings, and it's hard being young and also kind of having aspirations at the same time. And I really think that is a point the film's trying to make, that when you're young and really reaching for those big things, you're gonna fuck up, you're gonna make yourself look like a tit. And I think the film really did a great job in getting that across. But I think the main thing we need to talk about is none of that works. Like, the script can do whatever, but none of that works if the performance isn't great. And Timothée Chalamet
performs it great. Like, just what you mentioned about youth, I remember I was watching one of his interviews, Josh Safdie, and he was saying that he decided on Timothée Chalamet obviously years ago, but it was back in, as soon as he saw him, it was like 2017. He was doing, I think it was a New York promo for Call Me By Your Name.
Yeah.
And it's a very famous clip, right? Timothée Chalamet falls off his chair during this promo because he's like rocking back and forth, and he has all this energy that obviously Marty Supreme has, because Timothée Chalamet, while he is super ambitious, there is an exception to him and Marty, which is Marty throughout this film is ridiculed because his dream is not seemed as something that should be aspired to, because table tennis is not this big thing in America, whereas obviously acting is. Timothée Chalamet is probably ridiculed in a different way, which is for his youthfulness, and that he is much younger, which we have seen throughout this award season, where he is like winning against some of the greatest actors, like Leonardo DiCaprio.
But they have both been, like, both in terms of Marty and Timothy, they do both kind of get ridiculed in the fact that they want to be great. Like, especially after, what was that award? Was it the SAG Award last year?
Oh, yeah, the 31st Award, annual SAG Award. Where
he was just like, I want to be one of the greats.
In the pursuit of greatness.
Yeah, he got a lot of shit for that, but honestly, I really respected him.
I loved it. I really enjoyed the speech. Obviously, I think he's kind of done it in some, like, he mentioned Marlon Brando, which he has made history this week as he is the youngest male actor to receive 3 Oscar nominations for male lead, which is Call Me By Your Name, a complete unknown from last year, and this year Marty Supreme. He's gone for it because this is his Oscar season. It's also that he's a producer of this film.
Yes.
And the film would not be what it is without Timothée Chalamet. He is the complete heart and soul of this film. Like,
This
there
film
are other
feels
actors.
shaped for Timothy Chalamet. Like, it feels like Josh Safdie wrote this for him. It doesn't just feel like he was cast in the role. This is probably going to be the role Timothy Chalamet is remembered for.
And I think he's incredible in it. He also has his more fun films like Willy Wonka, but
Yes.
he engrosses himself in a character like he did for A Complete Unknown. Obviously, we knew there was no hope. It was a very small smidge of hope as soon as Adrian Brody was involved
Yeah.
last Oscar season. But I think he has a very high chance.
I think
I'm
he
very
is
hopeful.
winning this year. Like,
I'm
I
very,
think this
very
is his
hopeful.
year. Like, I don't see any. If anyone takes it from him, it's probably Leonardo DiCaprio. But even so, I don't see that happening. Like, just all the momentum is heading towards Timothy Chalamet. But this is the thing as well. It's just like, because he's been so in pursuit of this Oscar. Like, once he wins it, what does he do?
He gets it for a producer title as well.
I don't think
That's
this
his
is winning
next one.
Best Picture, to be honest.
No,
But
no, no, no. But he'll
oh, okay,
keep
yeah.
at it. Yeah,
But,
that's
like,
his next goal.
because like he said before that Leonardo DiCaprio has told him, no superhero movies or anything like that. But I heard him talking the other day about, well, if the script's good and the director's good, I'll do it. So I genuinely think he might be jumping on the Marvel train or DC train at some point.
He's only done one franchise, but obviously that franchise is Dune,
Prestige
which is
as well.
it's a very big book, and it is prestigious wherever it is, not it is fantasy or not, which I've seen some people compare, and I'm like, no, it still has
Yes.
like it's gotten Oscars nominations every
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
Whether or not it's won, it's still coated in something that Marvel movies don't have,
Yes.
unfortunately. Whether or not they should, we have discussed in a previous video. But Timothy Chalamet so far has won a Critics' Choice, and he's also won a Globe this year for this film. But this film is incredible, right? It's from the makeup where they add like acne scars to Timothy Chalamet, which Gwyneth Paltrow talked about, because she's like, I saw him and I thought, oh no, I'll give you some skincare, and he was like, no, like it's makeup.
Yeah.
It's such a detailed film, and it is a long film. But I feel like the amount of pacing in it makes it worth it to me. Like like every single time there was a table tennis, and I do like table tennis, right? I do. It's not I prefer tennis, but I was like I had to move forward, and I was not the only person that moved forward. Like everyone was like, I want him to win. Like I do want him to win.
Yeah.
This is an interesting film where it's like combining the American dream that was happening post World War II, as well as with Jewish pride, which was also happening after the Holocaust, and it's just made it into this massive ball, which is Marty Supreme, and his massive ambitions that he's decided he's the chosen one.
Well, I don't know how you feel about this, but for me, the best parts of this movie are the ping pong elements. Like the first act, the first 45 minutes where it's like focusing on him and the ping pong, like, and also like the final 30 minutes, like all of that is like my favorite parts of this movie. Like for the first 45 minutes I was thinking, oh my god, is this my favorite film of the year? But I do think I really enjoyed the whole movie, but I do think it gets a little scatterbrained. I think kind of once you get beyond the first couple of tennis matches, and once he kind of gets back home, I do think it gets a bit. The characters in his scenes aren't quite as interesting as they were before, and it feels. I saw someone say this. I can see where they're coming from. It feels a bit episodic.
Right. Okay.
Like there are elements of it that do feel like they've come from a 20-minute TV show. 20-minute episode of a sitcom or something like that, which I do see. So yeah, like you were talking about earlier, it really depends how that hits you and whether you like that type of filmmaking or whether that frustrates you and want something a bit more focused.
I think it makes it into not a sports movie by having all these other elements. And obviously we have to also look at the Safdie brothers, who, while this is not a film very specifically on addiction, it still has those kind of elements. So did the Smashing Machine, but in a looser kind of, he's addicted to this dream, and it's watching him unravel very slowly, but it's all in one year. I also really liked Tyler, the creator, in this. I was kind of skeptical at first when he first got cast because like
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
quite a character himself, but I really enjoyed. I kind of liked the Moses thing. I thought there was quite a lot of symbolism with Jewish pride, where when he brings back part of the pyramid to his mom,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have Moses the dog, and he's like, "Oh, this is like obviously
Yeah.
perfect for him." Um, but I can see why it's a very long film. However, it's such a film. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's
So
something
much
you watch
happens
in the
in it.
cinema. Yeah,
Yeah. It's
it's not.
experiential.
I feel like sometimes I've watched films recently which I feel like don't make this massive world, which and they just have one character and all the other
Yeah.
characters are kind of like tossed aside or they don't
Yeah,
really
yeah.
make sense, right? You have these what I would say are complicated characters. You don't like the characters, that's fine.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But it's in-depth characterization, I think, in my opinion.
But I also, surprisingly, because I heard like a lot of buzz about Gwyneth Paltrow's performance going into the film, and I was just like, really? I don't know. But actually, she's really good in the movie. Like, I did not expect her to be as good as she was. I was really compelled with the storyline between her and Timothée Chalamet. I thought that worked really well. But also, as you mentioned, Kevin O'Leary, considering he's not an actor, I thought he was really scary in this movie.
I think Gwyneth Paltrow, I think the marketing, she hasn't done a great job marketing. I feel like the marketing has been very Timothée Chalamet. She's been in some interviews, but she just feels very awkward. But in the actual acting part, obviously her character is this settled down actress that decided she had what Timothy wants, right? What Marty wants, which is this entire like ambition, and she's got recognition for it. But then she chooses to settle down and have more comfort with her husband, who I don't think she really likes that much. And she wants to become an actress again, and she's doing it in a theatre way, not in the films that she used to make. And that's obviously what brings her and Timothy closer is this ambition that they both have. What do you think about the score? Should we discuss the score?
Yes.
Which is obviously by Daniel Lupin.
I think it's Lupin, yeah. It's very, just like we're talking about the filmmaking, the score is very chaotic. Like, it's very, like, loud and that it's a presence. Like, sometimes it's scores in movies, they kind of just, they're in the background a bit, you don't really notice them. Whereas you can't do that with Marty Supreme. Like, it is a character. It's there. And, yes, I could see it getting in your face a bit, but again, because it complements the filmmaking so well and the style and everything this movie's going for, it kind of adds to that anxiety. It really builds that anxiety. And yeah, I think it should have got a Best Score nomination. It was incredible.
I also thought that. I was kind of disappointed, especially because for me personally, Billy might know this, Best Score is my favorite, one of my favorite categories. And I will, if I haven't watched something in the category, I will then watch it because it says the score, which is how I watched All Quiet on the Western Front. Obviously, the score is quite interesting as well as the musical choices because you have a lot of 80s influence and you have a lot of 80s songs like Forever Young and Everyone Wants to Rule the World, which is obviously it was a very deliberate choice. As I think this was from Oscar's Academy conversation, Daniel said, I realized that there was something about the dream that Marty's having about a future for himself, and that's why it's future music. And then he also goes to say, and there's a metaphor in the score that it's him versus the old world, which is obviously the 50s that he's living in. So it's like he's envisioned this world for himself, this legacy, and that's why it's much further in the 80s and 50s music, which I really like. I think it's good when you have metaphors in soundtrack as well.
Well, I'd like to bring this up to you because I had this for, it's not necessarily an issue, but I had this for after I saw the movie where, because the film's set in the 50s, but the style of filmmaking and the way it's done is very 80s inspired. So I was kind of curious, like, do you think this is a movie that should have just been set in the 80s, or do you think that kind of, what's it called?
Oh, juxtaposition.
Juxtaposition, there we go.
There we go. I think it works because you have what is holding him back, and it's this imprisonment of his ambition. and imprisonment of his life, which obviously we have the circle moment in which he does accept the child as his, right? We have that at the start, we have the conception, and then we have at the end where he looks at the baby and he realizes legacy can continue in a different way, which is his child, and he can take care of it. So I think this juxtaposition of the 50s and the 80s, which is his future and the past and present, is all throughout the film, because you have World War II themes and Jewish heritage, you have Marty's Mauser right now, and you have the journey of Odessa being pregnant. But then you have the future where he's going to have this child. He wants this dream of ping pong. Whether or not it's going to work or not is completely different. But it's about this life that he envisions for himself. So I think the 80s soundtrack and the 80s filmmaking kind of works with the 50s background. I do think it's an interesting choice, obviously. I mean, some of the language as well is more 80s than it is 50s. Which I don't have a problem with. And then you have the whole, like, orange colour, which is such a tiny part of the film. And I really did think that ping pong would, like, come back.
Would be more significant.
Yeah, I thought we'd see the ball
They were
again.
really selling that ping pong ball.
Yeah, I mean, I like the shots that we did have it in, right? When they throw it out the window and you just have it. I loved it, but I thought it would be in the
it made for a sick opening credits title, but that was really its main contribution to the movie, apart from just being a prop.
Obviously, this film got a few Oscar nominations. What do you think their chances are? We have, off the top of my head, we have Best Picture, Best Actor in a Leading Role,
Best Director.
Best Director. I think that one, Best Cinematography, we have that one as well.
I think Best Original Screenplay.
Yes. Film Editing as well. Production Design. I think it should get production design. I love the production. I've loved every single interview about the production design.
Obviously, apart from actor, because I think we just know that it's Timothée Chalamet's award this year. And that is, by the way, he deserves to win Best Actor. I genuinely think Marty Supreme is the best performance of the year. His performance in Marty Supreme is the best of the year. But in terms of the other ones, honestly, I wouldn't be mad if it won editing. Just because of how that fast-paced is really well done, but it knows when to incorporate the slower moments. That's a really hard thing to get right. And if it was, I can't remember the other nominees off the top of my head. So if you brought another one up, I may go. Oh, actually, Best Editing.
Best Editing. I can find that right now. Film Editing we have, which I think will win. We have Formula One, Marty Supreme, One Battle After an Hour, Sentimental Value, and Sinners.
Okay, now you say it, I want F1 to win, but
I think this is the one F1 will win.
But I wouldn't be mad if Marty Supreme won, because it is a very well edited movie.
Do we have anything else to add about the phenomenal film that is Marty Supreme?
I mean, we haven't really talked about the final scene, the ending.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I really love this ending. I think it's a really moving way to end this film, and I think it does kind of bring Marty's arc full circle and to a close in a way that feels natural. And I'm also interested in your feelings of, like, obviously, I get this feeling sometimes when I watch a movie. It's just like, where do you think Marty went from here? After, like, the movie, was it faded to black or cut to black? Where do you think Marty went? Like, what was his life like?
Obviously, he has a baby now. So he's going to have to make money somehow. I reckon he starts, like, working on the weekends at the table tennis place. Which obviously is a very famous table tennis place. It was the first black-owned business, like sport business in New York. It's Josh Safdie mentions it because it was based on what is in the autobiography. So I feel like maybe he starts working there as well. But what Marty Resman, I think that's his name, did was what we've seen in the film, which is Marty hustling against people that obviously are newbies in, like, table tennis or think they're really good. That's what loads of table tennis people did in the 50s. They just did it over and over again because they weren't well known. So he probably does that. It's kind of sad. He probably does work. He's probably the manager at the shoe shop.
Or
then,
he's just like, the sequel was just him taking his baby on table tennis or ping pong tournaments.
oh yeah, he turns into Max Verstappen's dad. That's actually the sequel. If you want to see it, you watch Formula One to see the sequel. And he's actually Brad Pitt. Yeah, he's found something that people do like, which is motorsport.
Yeah, this is the prequel to F1.
Yeah. So they're actually going to win joint best editing because they're
the same movie.
Sequel. Exactly. So while Wicked did not get any nominations, we have the sequel to Marty Supreme as nominations.
I'll take it.
Sequels finally have an Oscar now.
Yes. Thank you for listening / watching. You can find us on Spotify, YouTube, and Instagram. I've been Billy Howells.
I'm in Skye, Collacott, Williamson.
And goodbye.